Win a Pageant, episode 64. I created this step-by-step process after training thousands of women across the U.S. to win. Now you can have access to these winning strategies when you join me every Wednesday. Let's win a pageant. Hey girl, welcome back to the Win a Pageant podcast. I'm your coach, Alycia Darby, and today I want to share with you some of the most important products that every pageant woman needs to know about. Now, most of these products you're going to buy just one time and you'll use them over and over and over and over again, okay? Not just for your pageants, but also for appearances and other competitions and things throughout the year. Now, you can buy all of them on Amazon. Most of them are available for Prime members, so free shipping. And if you bought them all at once, it would cost you less than $200. And that's if you really went for the big whammy. So now these are also great to add to your list for your birthday or for Christmas or even your send-off party wish list. And directors, these would make really just great gift bags for newly crowned queens. So in the show notes of this episode, I'm going to include an image of each of the products with a link that'll take you straight to it in Amazon. Plus, I'm going to give you a link to the Amazon full list of all of the products just to make it easy on you. Okay, so you can get that full list at winapageant.com/64. So let's begin in the beauty and personal care arena. So the first product I want to share with you is the L'Oreal Sublime SelfTanner. Now, I specifically love this brand. It's about $10. It's an easy to apply lotion. And it has a bronzer in it, so you can see where it goes on so that you don't think, oh, did I do my left leg already, or something. For competition, what I usually did was apply it the night before I left for orientation. I would sleep in it and then shower it off in the morning. So you shower the bronzer off and then just what your skin has absorbed and changed, that is what, stays on. The bronzer can get very, very, very dark. So just shower it off in the morning. And then what I would do is about halfway through the week, toward the end of the week, maybe Wednesday night or Thursday night, I would reapply a second layer. Now, that's how I did it. That's what worked best for my body. But I want to recommend that you test your tanner 2 months before your pageant. And you are going to do it 2 months for, because if something hideous happens, then you need some time to change products or change something, change your test up or whatnot in order to really make sure that it's working for your body. The second product I want to clue you in on is the Friction Block Stick. Now, this is about $5. It looks like a miniature deodorant, but it feels like candle wax. What you do is you actually roll it on like a deodorant on the areas of your foot where your shoe rubs against, like if a strap or something is rubbing against your foot. What this does is it actually blocks the friction. And so it allows for the strap to slide over your foot without that friction, which causes blisters, hence the friction block, though it is also frequently referenced as blister block. Now, I find that it definitely works, but I sometimes have to reapply it throughout the day. So I recommend taking it with you. It's super small, so you could just put it in your purse and then pull it out anytime that you need it. Product number 3 is the Demi Wispies eyelashes. Now, you can get these on Amazon for $15 for a set of 6, and you're going to need 6 for a full week of a pageant. Now, these are the most common fake eyelashes used because they look really full yet natural. These are the strips versus the individual lashes, although they also come in individual lashes. But I find that the strips are far easier to apply and also to remove. Now, you can re-wear strip lashes, and even the individuals, you can re-wear them, but they are designed to be disposable. So you could rewear them a time or two, but pretty soon they're kind of going to get gunky and you're going to want to refresh them. So that's why I recommend the set of 6. Now, when you're applying fake lashes, you need to have a lash adhesive. My favorite is the brush-on type. I believe the brand is called Duo. It looks like a nail polish, the way that the brush works. So it kind of dips into the glue and then it pulls out. The beauty of this is that you don't have to be dumping glue all over the countertop and then sticking a bobby pin in it to try to apply it onto the lash, because the lash part is very thin. And so this brush is also very thin. It allows it to just apply very nice and neatly. Now, they do sell it in clear, white and dark colors. They just call it dark. It's just like a brunette looking color. I prefer the clear or the white, probably just because that's what I've always used. But if you want to try the dark, I think that would be great. I haven't tried it yet, but I can't imagine it wouldn't be phenomenal, because when you use the clear or the white, after you've applied it, you still want to go over top of that with your eye pencil, or eyeliner in some way. That's just my little tip. And don't forget, when you apply your lashes, allow the glue to dry just a bit, maybe 10 or 15 seconds before you actually put the lash onto your eye. Okay, the next product this is like my little secret weapon. This is the Sally Hansen Airbrush Leg Makeup. It's $11, and this stuff is amazing. It is like airbrush foundation for your body, and you can use it anywhere, but it works best in areas that do not have hair. So if your forearms have hair, don't expect to put it on there. It's going to make your hair kind of glisten or look weird. So the best place that it is used is your legs. That's what it's designed for. It comes in an aerosol can, so it works like a hairspray would, and you just gently apply it to your legs, and then I generally just softly kind of spread it out a bit throughout my legs, just like you would foundation on your face. You put it on, but then you kind of spread it out. Do not rub it in, because it's not a self-tanner. It is only designed to just lightly cover like purple veins or light bruises. It just gives you a very even skin tone. When I was in college, I actually wore this to a cocktail party once, and my girlfriend was like, "Are you wearing pantyhose?" And I'm like, "No, of course I'm not wearing pantyhose. Like, this is just airbrush leg makeup." So what's beautiful about it is that initially when it goes on, it's able to be kind of dusted and brushed over, but then it dries, so it's not rubbing off all over things. However, I will say you want to put it on after you put on your, for example, swimsuit bottoms or fitness bottoms or something, because I did this once where I put it on first, like in the nude, and then I put my swimsuit bottoms on afterward, and a little bit of it got onto the actual swimsuit bottom. So then I'm like running around finding a wet washcloth to like dust it off, and it was like a big old mess. So start with your clothing first, then apply this on afterward. Now let's hop into wardrobe and fashion. I've got 6 products in this category, and the first is the Sew-In Foam Bra Cups. Now these are $6. I fell in love with these Sew-In bra cups when I was smaller than a size A, and I sewed them into every piece of my competition wardrobe, and they not only gave me gorgeous proportional oomph, but I didn't have to worry about a bra the entire time, or bouncing around and stuff, or switching the same pair between all of my wardrobe, because they're so inexpensive and they're extremely light because they're foam. So it's so easy to just stitch them right in, and then you can use them for every piece of wardrobe, and you never have to worry about, taking out the chicken cutlets and sliding them into the next thing and what happens if they fall out or things like that. You could even stitch these into actual bras if you wanted to save yourself like $7,000 on plastic surgery. They are that good. They're phenomenal. The next thing that you've probably heard of before is Spanx. The most common Spanx in pageantry are called the Power Panties. They're about $40. Spanx are just an incredible product, not because they hold in your fat rolls. They barely do that, okay? It's not like you're going to lose 20 pounds by just wearing the Spanx, okay? But what they do is they actually even out all of your rolls, whether it's skin rolls or fat rolls, and they just make your body look even underneath your clothes. So I do not recommend relying on them to give you a great body, because there are far better ways to do that with your diet and exercise. But Spanx are on the list because they help in, for example, evening gowns and interview outfits. They just make things look really smooth, especially when you're wearing an outfit that's fitted. It also helps soften the thigh jiggle, which we all have. Plus, it's nice to have something on backstage when you're changing wardrobe. But here's what I want to warn you. Spanx, the Power Panties that I'm specifically referring to, they come up to about your belly button line and down to about mid thigh or just below, closer to your knee. So what you want to be careful of is when you are changing from, for example, wearing the Spanx for hours into your swimsuit, you will see a body line at the seams of your waist and your thighs. So you just want to be cautious of that. Don't wear them for long periods of time right before that phase of competition. The next product is the NonSlip Shoe Sticker. Now you can get 10 pairs of these for $11. That is super cheap. You can even buy them at like Payless and stuff in pairs. Walmart probably has them in Target. If you don't wear your competition heels outside, which no one really does, then the bottoms of your shoes, the soles of your shoes, will likely remain very slick. So what I've always done is added these non-slip shoe stickers to the bottom of my competition shoes so that there's no risk of slipping and falling. They're just about half the size of the palm of your hand, and they're sort of shaped like an egg. And on one side, they have paper that you remove to reveal a sticky side. And on the other side of that is sort of like a sandpaper texture. So what's beautiful is they really grip the ground, especially if you are walking on wood or tile instead of marley. So these even worked for my jazz shoes for talent. They're super inexpensive and they are worth it for the peace of mind. The next product is also shoe related, but this is the non-slip shoe insert for comfort. This is about $8 per pair. It's for the inside of your shoe, and it can be used as a ball of the foot cushion, and it also keeps you from sliding forward. Now, there are all sorts of types of these. The brand that I absolutely love is the Dr. Scholl's brand. They make them specifically for women, so I'm going to link that up for you in the show notes of this episode. And I put them in every single one of my shoes, the same kind of idea where you peel off the paper and you stick it to the actual bottom of the shoe. That's how it avoids slipping forward. So highly recommended, not just for stage competition, but also for appearances and just life in general. The next thing you've probably heard about before is the fashion double-sided tape. Now, this is about $10 and you get several pieces of tape. What this is not for is for your body. Fabric double-sided tape is for fabric on fabric. So this would work great for the lining of the inside of your gown or the sash. If you want to put your sash on the shoulder of your dress and have it not like be sliding all around, those are great reasons for it. But you won't really know that you need it until you put your outfit on, and then you'll be looking like, something's just not quite laying right. So you want to just make sure that you've got this handy in your backstage kit so that you can just grab it quickly when the time is right. But remember, this is not for your body. I have not found a tape that actually works to my sweaty body because, you get sweaty, you're running back and forth, the stage lights are warm, you're nervous. So it's really difficult to find a tape that holds up, for example, a strapless beaded dress or something, For that, you're going to need Bikini Bite butt glue. Now, I know if you haven't used it before, you've certainly heard of the infamous butt glue. It's rather graphic to apply, but I'm going to explain to you the best method that I've found is to actually put your swimsuit bottoms on. This is typically what it's used for. And then lay them so you can visually see where you want them to lay in the mirror. And then you're going to actually pull the fabric up like you have a wedgie. And you're going to apply the adhesive directly to your skin. Kind of let it dry a bit so it's not sopping wet, And then you're just going to gently fold the fabric back over top one cheek at a time and press it on. Wherever you lay your bikini is where it will stay. Now, they make this as a roll-on or as a spray. I prefer the roll-on because I feel like it's more precise, but the spray version is also very common when you're sharing it. So oftentimes, if they have it backstage for your use, they'll generally have the spray version so girls aren't, rubbing this glue all over their booties. Just remember that when you are done with your swimsuit competition or whatever you end up using this bikini butt glue for, you've got to have a baby wipe backstage to actually remove the adhesive before putting on a new outfit, because whatever you put on top is also going to stick to that butt glue. So just be cautious about that you don't put on your gown and then sit down and all of a sudden you stand up and your jersey knit dress is now stuck to your rear. Okay, so be careful. Little pro tip for you there. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you is the category called practical products. Now, these are not things that every single pageant girl has, but these are the things that the most professional pageant women have. So these are the people who have been competing for years and years and years. They slowly learn that these things come in really, really handy. So I just want you to be very aware of these so that if you're ready to go all in, you can start immediately. The first is my favorite hand steamer. I talk about this thing all of the time. A girlfriend of mine recommended it to me years and years ago, and I still travel with it constantly. It's called the E-Steam Hand Steamer. I have seen it all over the internet at all different prices, up to $115, but I found that it's best on Amazon. It's $59 currently, but you know how on Amazon they go higher and lower every now and again, but that's what it is right now. If you've got quality wardrobe, you're going to need a steamer for it. And this hand steamer fits so easily into a suitcase. So you've probably seen the other steamers that look like vacuum cleaners, and they're humongous and they have these big long cords and stuff. Well, those are not easy to travel with. But this is literally a handheld steamer. It's smaller than a fire extinguisher, like by half, but it sort of looks like that. All you do is you fill it with water and then you plug it in when you arrive, and it starts to steam in like less than 5 minutes or so. You'll hear it kind of like boiling and warm up. And it goes pretty quickly, so you want to make sure that you're watching the water level, which it does have a tracker for you. Just keep filling it up with water if you're running out. If you are steaming everything all at one time, which is what I recommend, then you will be running out of water. So just make sure you keep filling it up. And then unplug it when you're done. It does not have an on-off switch, so you definitely want to unplug it when you're done so it doesn't just like catch on fire, okay? The next thing that's going to make your life just so much easier is a power strip for backstage. So a power strip is the kind of thing with a big long extension cord, and it has several different plugs all right there. So it might have like 5 or 6 plugins. That is going to be awesome because backstage, everyone is always like fighting for the outlets to charge their phone or curl their hair or steam their dress, Most women bring a power strip that they are willing to share with the people around them. So they're not going to expect to just plug it in and only use 3 of the things and not let anyone else use it. But the value of bringing it yourself is you can be, first of all, the one that's able to bless other people with power, but also you are priority when you are ready to heat your iron or plug your phone in. If everyone else is using it, then you can be like, hey girls, who can unplug here? Because this is my plug and I am ready to plug in, So you can kind of claim it, which is really, really beneficial when it comes to a competition. Now, the next product is for the true do-it-yourself pageant girl. If you are adding stones to your wardrobe, the best way is with a Hot Fix stone and this Hot Fix rhinestone applicator. It's only $14. It looks like a bedazzler, but it's also sort of like a blend between that and a glue gun. Basically, you plug it in to warm it up, and then you use the small tip on the end to lift the front-facing part of the rhinestone, and it will automatically heat the rhinestone so that where the glue is on the back of the stone will warm up and sort of start to melt. And then in a few moments, you'll put the stone onto the wardrobe, hold it there for only a moment, and then when you lift it back, the rhinestone will stay glued to your fabric. Now, you can buy these Hot Fix rhinestones. They come with ready-to-heat glue on the back. The alternative is that you can get rhinestones that don't have any Hot Fix glue to them, but they are such a pain because you have to dip them into real glue and then put them on, and it just gets to be very complicated. So I've just found if you're going to do it, especially when you're adding this to your own wardrobe, it's likely that you're adding hundreds. So this makes the process much easier. Now, the final product I want to share with you is optional. Of course, all of these are very optional, but sometimes you will benefit from bringing a garment hanging rack to your pageant. And sometimes they refuse to let you, okay? It depends on how much room there is backstage. Oftentimes, the pageant itself will already have plenty of hanging racks. And so they ask you to not bring one because you might be sharing so much space that if every girl brought one, it would just clutter everything. But if you are sharing a room in a hotel, which means you're probably sharing one of those tiny little hotel closets, then this would be really, really excellent to at least have in your hotel room. Most pageants provide racks, but it can't hurt to have your own, especially if you're traveling nearby, like if you're just driving and it's easy to throw in the car. The two that I recommend both have a shelf on the bottom. And when there's a shelf on the bottom, it makes things a little bit sturdier. So if you buy one that's really got hardly anything to it, and then you really try to hang a really heavy gown on there, it's probably going to topple over and it's not going to be worth it. So the two that I recommend, the first is $16. It has a bottom shelf, but not a top one. The really heavy duty one is $45. It has a shelf on the bottom and a shelf on the top, which I have found really, really great for laying out shoes or jewelry, things like that. And it has extra hanging space on the sides. Just make sure to test it out. As soon as you buy it, take it home, set it all up, make sure it's easy to set up and that it's sturdy. Stick something heavy on it just to make sure before you get to your pageant and then you find it like toppling over. Now, of course, you do not have to have all these 15 products in order to win your pageant, but they certainly do relieve a ton of stress during your competition. And just by knowing what exactly you need and what the other women that you're competing with might be using will relieve stress off of your mindset. And that, my dear, is how you win a pageant. Now, if you've got an additional product to share that you think is absolutely vital or just totally fantastic, please leave a comment at winapageant.com/64 and let me know your favorites. For more information and free resources to help you win your pageant, visit winapageant.com. I'll see you next Win a Pageant Wednesday.